From the Massachusetts Broadcasters Station of the Year, this is Western Mass News at 6 p.m.
Members of the Massachusetts National Guard will be heading to D.C. ahead of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration.
1 year and 1 day after her son's murder, a Springfield mother gets relief. I'm Audrey Russo, and coming up, I'll tell you why in an exclusive interview.
Plus, a local dentist and her staff denied the COVID-19 vaccine in this distribution phase. Her concerns straight ahead.
We're following developing news for you this evening as federal law enforcement officials are on high alert ahead of Inauguration Day. They're warning that domestic extremists may strike on January 20th, motivated by the riot on the U.S. Capitol. Good Thursday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano.
And I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. Prosecutors have already charged dozens of people with federal crimes related to the Capitol chaos. But chatter of copycat attacks has the government ramping up security efforts. Thousands of armed National Guard troops surrounding Washington, D.C., barriers blocking off streets, and the iconic National Mall will be closed on January 20th.
With the National Guard buildup at the U.S. Capitol, our Governor Charlie Baker today confirmed Massachusetts Guard members will join that security effort.
Western Mass News reporter Kayla Burton joins us live in studio with those details. Kayla?
Well, Chris and Jordan, Governor Charlie Baker approved an order today to send hundreds from Massachusetts to join the National Guard deployment ahead of Wednesday's presidential inauguration.
We will be sending Guard personnel to Washington, D.C.
Governor Charlie Baker confirmed on Thursday up to 500 members of the Massachusetts National Guard are being deployed to the nation's capital to join the massive security detail for next week's presidential inauguration of Joe Biden, coming 2 weeks after a Trump rally turned violent and deadly with rioters ravaging the Capitol building, and 1 week after the House voted to impeach President Donald Trump for a second time.
I think it's incredibly important for the country that this transition be smooth and as uneventful as possible.
Governor Baker says much thought went into the federal government's request for state guard members, while also considering secretary needs here in the state.
This has been a lot of back and forth over the past 48 hours between the Guard here, the Guard in D.C., and some of our colleagues in local and state law enforcement here.
Now, the governor says the administration is not aware of any specific threats here in the Bay State related to the inauguration, but he says that there are security plans in place just in case. Live in studio, Kayla Burton, Western Mass News.
I don't want no retaliation. It's not going to bring my son back. What I want is justice for my son.
That was the plea nearly a year ago to the day made by a Springfield mother after her son was shot and killed in Holyoke.
Just days ago, she got that justice as the Hampden County District Attorney announced an arrest was made in the murder of Rockwise Wright.
Tonight, in an exclusive interview with Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo, we hear from his mother once again. Audrey?
Law enforcement arrested Jose Gonzalez Diaz on January 12th. That's 1 year and 1 day after they say he shot and killed Ray Keese Wright on Sargent Street in Holyoke. Tonight, his mother is speaking to us, saying that this is the first time she's felt relief in a year. Around a year ago, Celeste Wright stood in front of candles in the shape of her son's initials, mourning the death of Ray Keese Wright. The 21-year-old Springfield man was shot and killed in Holyoke last year, and like any other family affected by gun violence,
I did see some dark days.
But earlier this week, Celeste got the phone call that some of those families never receive.
All I could say was thank you, Jesus.
The Hampden County District Attorney announcing the arrest of Jose Gonzalez Diaz, charged in Ray Keese's murder.
I prayed from the first day that I would get some type of peace someday. Did I think it'd be a year later? No.
Celeste tells Western Mass News she's grateful to the Holyoke police, detectives, the DA, and state police, who she says never gave up in getting justice.
They worked so diligently.
Celeste acknowledges that her music-loving son made bad choices, and she says the culture of gun violence has become all too common among young people.
In this day and time, that's the common denominator. Let me just shoot you to death. and it's not fair.
She even understands what the charges will do to the suspect in her son's murder.
I even send my prayers to his family because it's going to tear his family apart.
Her message to families now: reach out before gun violence claims another son.
Change. Make a difference. Help someone else. Help them turn their life around. It is giving us a little bit of relief to know that he's not going to be able to hurt anybody else.
The Hampden County District Attorney says that this is an ongoing case. Officials say the arrest is the culmination of a year-long investigation. Reporting live, I'm Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thanks for that live report. The rollout of COVID-19 vaccinations in the state has many wondering when it'll be their turn.
While healthcare workers are currently cleared for their doses, a Western Mass dentist is frustrated that she and her staff have been turned away, at least for now. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis has the exclusive story.
And they're like, oh no, dental is not medical. And dental is not first responders.
And dental isn't healthcare.
And you need to leave. We cannot give you your vaccine.
Dr. Marjan Karadus, better known by her patients as Dr. K, speaking with Western Mass News after being told on Thursday she's not eligible to get a COVID-19 vaccine yet. She owns Triangle Family Dental in Amherst. She tells us other dentists in Western Mass have already received a COVID-19 vaccine.
We found out that some dentists and dental offices in Northampton were able to receive vaccines. And we're like, well, this is purely political. You know, if you have a vaccine, you have a designated time, and you have your staff wanting to receive it, shouldn't they get it?
Western Mass News reached out to the State Department of Public Health about this matter. They tell us in a statement, healthcare workers doing non-COVID phasing care are currently scheduled to be eligible for vaccination in the next couple of weeks. Dentists and dental hygienists fall under this category. For Dr. K, she wants to be able to protect herself, staff, and other patients.
We risk our lives taking care of people every day with every patient that walks in through that front door, because you don't know.
Now, Dr. K considers her and her staff first responders, and she believes that she should be able to get vaccinated as soon as possible. In Amherst, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Well, temperatures today stayed on the chillier side compared to recent days. Still above average, though, for this time of year, with many in the middle 30s, even a few upper 30s getting up into northern Berkshire County. It's just been a dreary day overall. But the rain, the snow, all of that is coming to an end. We may still have some drizzle and mist out there to deal with, even a little snizzle, a little bit of that drizzly kind of snow that's been around the higher elevations today. All of that tapering off this evening. Cloud cover continues to hang tough, but patchy fog is starting to form, and we will likely have patchy fog around throughout much of the night. It may ease up a little bit and then redevelop through tomorrow morning. So some reduced visibilities out there, still drizzly, still misty. You can see how the viaduct is still wet, but temperatures are above freezing in most locations. So right now you are fine in terms of travel, no ice yet. However, as temperatures start to drop, and I think this Northampton, this one has been very cool very often, so you might actually be above freezing in the city. But as we continue throughout tonight and temperatures do dip below freezing, you do want to watch out for some black ice. We may have some freezing fog that'll be around through tomorrow morning as well, so you may notice a little bit of ice accretion on like your porch railing, on your car. It may take a little bit to kind of defrost your car in the morning, and roads again could be slippery. Then we head into Friday afternoon. We're back to the low 40s. We again have the cloud cover, and we are mostly dry until our storm arrives for Friday night. That looks to bring some heavy rain and some high elevation snow to the area. We'll take a look at all the details coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Janna, thanks. Turning now to the latest coronavirus numbers in the state over the past 2 weeks. Today, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health reports more than 5,500 new cases of COVID-19. That brings the total number now of confirmed cases in the Bay State to more than 433,000. More than 91,000 of those are believed to currently be active. The state is also seeing 74 new deaths. The statewide death toll stands at more than 13,000.
Staff at the Holyoke Soldiers Home welcome back the first round of veterans returning from their long-term stay at the Holyoke Medical Center. And more veterans will be returning over the next few days as part of the project Bring 'em Home. Residents had been staying at the Holyoke Medical Center since April of last year as part of an inventive plan to ensure the infection control standards were met at the home. And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it continues to develop, log on to our free Western Mass News streaming app.
New at 6, UMass Amherst is now reviewing an independent report on Holyoke Mayor Alex Morse and his relationships with students while he taught at the university. The allegations came to light last year as Morse was campaigning against Congressman Richard Neal. The report says there is insufficient evidence that Morse engaged in any relationships with students that he was grading or overseeing, or then he unreasonably interfered with any student's academic performance. In response to the findings, the university said UMass Amherst officials are studying the report and will evaluate whether pursuit of dating or sexual relationships with students by a faculty member is in conflict with the consensual relationship policy or the university's principles of employee conduct.